to another edition of From There to Here. And today I have Chef Weaver with me. I met him at Spruce Creek High School as part of, I'm going to say he has two lives, maybe more, because he's had the culinary department there at Spruce Creek High School, but he has his own business as a chef and catering and all that stuff. And so when I saw how he interacted with his kids and the quality of the food, I almost took a nap afterwards because it hit me. I said, I would love to talk, talk to this gentleman about just what he does and the path to get to where he is from where he came from. So that's what our conversation with Chef Weaver is going to be. Chef, how you doing?
I'm doing great today. Glad to be on the show today.
Excellent. Have you heard of the phrase or the term an elevator speech? Have you heard that before?
Yes.
All right. So for those who don't know an elevator speech, if you on an elevator with someone on with them for a few seconds, they ask what you do or whatever. Elevator speech is when you boil down what you're all about in a few seconds. So, Chef, if I had to ask you what your elevator speech would be, what do you think you'd say?
First I'll say hello. My name is Chef Weaver. I'm a culinary expert when it comes to Southern inspired dishes.
Say it.
Um, uh, Taught by my grandmother, and that's who I am. And everything I cook is with love. And hopefully I get to have you to try it so you can become a witness and not someone I just told.
My goodness, wow. I feel like I had a meal and went to church. All in what you just said.
Right.
Well, you kind of started it, but let's go farther down. If I said something simple like, what does cooking or cooking for people mean to you? What would you say to that?
A chance to impact a life. I believe that food brings all walks of life together. And when we think about that, I take it very, very serious because it's a way for me to express myself to different individuals, but also too for me to, get to know who I'm actually serving. You just never know with, a plate of food can take a conversation from, a stranger to a best friend
Okay.
or from a stranger to a business partner. So I always have that approach to say, whatever I'm going to do, I'm going to do it 100%. Whatever I'm going to make with my true ability. And it has led me to, people like yourself, just being able to join hands, and again, spread my truth and where I'm from and where I come from and how I got here.
Well, the beside the fact that the food was just impeccable, the passion that you have for what you do, it was showing just in that hour that I was at the cafe there at the school.
Right.
And even the way I saw it, you had the different students and they were deputized, you do this and you're over that and all this kind of thing. Um, can you talk about just kind of your journey cooking wise from young person to what you're doing now as far as either at the school or your business or both?
It's actually funny that you asked that because my cooking journey started at like 5 or 6 years old.
Okay.
My grandmother was a true Southern expired cook from South Carolina.
Okay.
So, we had a lot of the Southern roots that she relied on, and she believed that some things should have been done daily.
Okay.
But when I was about 5 or 6 years old, she had this one rule that, hey, let's take care of meals and things like that, then you get to play. So at
Okay.
4 or 5, I was standing on milk crates to be tall enough to be able to operate on a stove. And that's where the love started. And I
Okay.
migrated into high school. When I got to high school down in Pompano Beach, Florida, I went to the best high school in Florida, Blanche High School. When I went to Blanche had a culinary program there. I was there in all 4 years.
Okay.
Something special happened my junior year of being at Blanche. We was awarded a grant from the state that allowed us to get a multi-million-dollar facility.
Mm.
And when that multi-million-dollar facility, our chef at the time, Chef Ingram, He taught us, every little thing that we can learn about culinary. And we had a
Mm,
new facility. We did a lot with the district. We traveled. We went to different seminars. We went to different workshops. We went to different, meetings just to get a feel of what culinary was.
yeah.
And back in my head, I loved it, but I never thought that it would be something that I would rely back on again.
Okay.
So when I left Blanchard, I became a football player at Bethune Cookman University, where I played football there for 4 years, and I majored in criminal justice.
Okay.
When I majored in criminal justice, I got my undergrad and my master's in criminal justice. I actually left Bethune Cookman after my master's degree,
Mm,
and I went to Hillsborough County Sheriff, and I
okay.
was with here ACSO for about 4 or 5 months, and I realized that that was not what I wanted to do. So
Okay.
before, while I was in grad school, I was a graduate assistant within the Office of Student Athlete Services, within athletics at Bethune. So I
Hmm.
ended up going back and working in athletics again as academic advisor, kind of much like a, career success coach, stuff like
Okay.
that. And also being a mentor to the students. I did that for 2 years. Then I ended up leaving Bethune-Cookman and going to Stetson University over in DeLand.
Okay.
And I worked there for about 2.5 years as well, doing pretty much the same role. And then in 2021, I created my own business, Weaver's Bones and Sweets Eatery, that
Okay.
specializes in Southern barbecue and also grandmother soul food favorites and homemade desserts. So as I'm working at Stetson, it becomes to be, very, orders start to come in a little bit more frequently. I'm getting
Hmm.
more jobs, things happening. And I was like, man, this is actually like panning out. Like, I
Hmm.
got a successful career, but I also got a successful business as well.
Yes.
And then when I thought about it one summer, I went and had one conversation with Dr. Sparger at Spruce Creek High School. And when I had that conversation with Dr. Sparger, it was like a breath of fresh air.
Hmm.
And he's an awesome guy. The school administration is awesome. And they welcomed me with open arms and said, "Hey, we want you here at Spruce Creek if you're willing to come. And you're actually able to, express your craft as you do it now." And I said, "I'll take you up on it." And I ended up going to last year, going to work at Spruce Creek High School
Okay.
as the second culinary, because there's another teacher there, Chef Rudd,
Okay.
who's the head, and I'm behind him, but we join hand in hand for most of the stuff that we do.
I see.
Um, so with that being said, the love, the passion for my kids, who's eager. I bring another level of benefit to Spruce Creek because I am showing them in real lifetime the
Yeah.
entrepreneur side of catering and also cooking, and also showing them that you can make your own business successful, but nobody's going to care about your business more than you.
Okay.
I have a saying that I tell them all the time that nobody understands your vision better than you.
Write
And it
that
is
down.
for you to be, it is
Yes.
for you to express your vision in the ways of your craft to be able to get people to understand and say, hey, you're onto something. And at the end of the day, I've been pouring in lives going almost 2 years, man. It's been very grateful, been very rewarding. And that's where I'm at now. And with the catering business,
Yes.
we do a lot. We impact a lot of people, a lot of college athletic teams we deal with.
Okay.
I've worked with some Power Five college athletic teams, lower level junior college. So we have a big reputation within the Central Florida area, and could be considered the number one catering company within this area as well.
I love, I love, Chef, you don't lack skill, you don't lack confidence,
Yes, sir.
you don't lack passion in what you're doing, and it's just
Yes, sir.
coming off the screen. Part of this podcast was about how people make transitions from one path to another. I've talked to guys who played football, high school, and college, and then the point comes when it ends at some point. And
Mhm.
a lot of them talked to me about how difficult it was when they finally had to say football or whatever sport
Mhm.
was over. Was that a difficult moment or moment for you, when you realize that path is over and you're gonna have to go another direction?
So as we all know, I played tight end, which I was used like pretty much like a sixth offensive lineman,
Right.
style blocking tight end. And, reality started to set in that senior year, and you starting to look, hey, is the passion NFL? Is the passion to be, thankful for a degree?
Okay.
And I think I asked myself, actually, my last year was not my last year. I had another year of eligibility, but what I said I was going to do, and I did, I left football. Me and my head coach had a long conversation. Terry Sims, by the way,
Hmm.
and he just told me, he was like, man, whatever you want, make the best of it. And I said, Coach, I thank you for all you have done for me. I appreciate you, but I'm gonna take this opportunity and go and work in the Office of Student Athlete Services,
Okay.
get my master's degree, and pretty much spread my wing from the game of football. And he was like, man, I can't do anything but respect you as a man for
Okay.
even saying that or coming to the conclusion of that. And with that being said, you know, I took it and I ran with it. And like I said, I didn't look back. I got my master's.
Hmm.
And within my master's, I ended up becoming a Be Good scholar. I won $25,000 scholarship from Beyonce.
Okay.
So I did a lot of off the field things that allowed me to be successful.
Okay.
And ever since then, I haven't looked back. Like I said, was able to get a second degree for free,
Mm.
and it was able to, spread my wings and pretty much, I call it becoming a man.
Okay.
Because when you become a man, you put away childish things. So, and with that being said, like I said, I left the game that I love so much, but understanding that, NFL wasn't in my future.
Okay.
So, understanding I had to make a way for myself, start making a career out of myself for myself.
Well, there's a question I normally ask at the end of these interviews, but I want to ask it here since we're talking about making transition, manhood, and all of this. Imagine you have a friend who has a son or daughter who's a senior in high school, and they're just at about the point of leaving school. And they're a good kid. They've always done all the right things, but they're just not sure about what they want to do or what they want to be. And let's say your friend admires what you've done and said, hey, would you just take them to lunch, chit chat with them? Maybe something can come out that can help them get some direction for their life. So if you had this imaginary conversation, what do you imagine you would say to young Billy or little Sally or whatever, who's at that point of decision about their future?
Well, first of all, I'll congratulate them for getting to that point. I think the biggest thing that we forget about as adults is students are surrounded by so much chaos.
Okay.
So for them to get to the end of the road, us as adults, we have a duty to be able to put them in position to let them know you care and you want to see them succeed. Then my next I will go on to say is, where do you feel valued? Doing what? Is it doing hair? Is it doing nails? Is it, welding? Is it, doing something that maybe not, you don't have to go and sit in a traditional college classroom?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, in this era that we live in, trades and vocation is coming to be at the forefront again.
Yes.
So again, and also understanding, yes, college is good and great, but also understanding it's not for everybody.
Okay.
I think we have been traditionally trained in our mind, hey, you got to go to college, you got to go to college, got to go to college.
Yes.
But wherever you do go, I want you to be comfortable. I want you to succeed. I want you to be happy about doing it every day. And with that being said, we'll just dive into what makes you feel good, what makes you, laugh, what makes you proud, what makes you joyful.
Mm.
And then when you see that, you'll start seeing where the passion lies. And then they start opening up and say, hey, well, I had a thought of this. Then my goal is if it's entrepreneurship, if
Mm.
it's anything else, I'm going to say, hey, you can do it. You can do it. You can do whatever your mind is. And then I'm going to take it upon myself if I start tapping into some of the resources I have.
Okay.
Do I know somebody in that industry? Do I know somebody that I can put them in contact with to help them be successful? Or be a mentor that may be in the industry that can lead them to where they want to go. Again, I always build a personable relationship with my kids. And the reason being is I want them to know that I'm here for them.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, my book is always open. You know what I mean? You don't have to have a meeting with me in office hours. You don't
I
have
see.
to have that. I'm accessible because again, if I could change the life of one student out of all the students I have taught, I feel like I have done my job. So with that being said, like I said, just talking to that kid, letting that kid know the reassurance that the kid know. And this is the same thing that I do every day in class. Like I said, I tell my kids all the time, I'm never going to encourage you to do something you don't want to do.
Mm,
Meaning, if you say, Chef Weaver, I don't want to be cook, I don't want to, work in culinary, that's fine. But I do tell them, leaving my classroom, you'll have what? One, a life skill.
okay.
Life skill to be able to survive when you're thinking about having a family, when you're thinking about going off on your own and mom and dad can't give you a meal. You're able to prepare one for yourself. So that's a life skill for me. So that's my approach. That's how I get to my kids, and they understand. Even kids come back and say, "Man,
Yeah.
between me and Chef Rudd, man, we've touched them," and that's what makes that's my reward. Even out of over a paycheck, that's my reward.
Well, I got to witness that day, and something you said that maybe could elaborate on. I noticed there was a diversity of kids in there,
Hmm.
every race, every sex, every quote unquote type of person. But yet I saw them all working. Like you can tell, probably in sports, but definitely in school, when kids not only do the right thing because they need the grade, but they're like working for their teacher, working for a chef, like they want to please them because of that connection. So my question is, whether you're talking school or catering, whatever, how do you build connections with people that have, because we have a very divisive world these days. How do you make connections with people whose background or whatever totally different from you? How do you connect? Because I got to see that day.
It's two words that I stick by, and the first word is love, and the other word is passion. When you put love and passion together, you can bring anybody from any walks of life together, and they're gonna become unified. So again, my athletic director at Bethune Cookman University, Lynn Thompson.
Of course.
Lynn Thompson had a saying that if we're working, this is not work. This is called our ministry. And I embody that, and this
Wow.
is becoming my ministry. And that is what I portray to my kids. If we're going to do a job, we're going to do it well. We're going to do it together.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, leave the bickering at the door. We need to join and link as a team to get an overall goal achieved. But I also let them know if one of you guys slip up, we all fail.
Mm,
Because in this industry, it could be a little task for a lot of people, but if most people don't do what they're supposed to do, the operation fails.
okay.
So, like I said, love and passion. And I expressed to them, I want to know how, like I said, I want to know how they're doing. I want to know what do you have going on. And all my kids will tell you too, yeah, I teach culinary, but also some days it may be, hey, take out and work on something that you may have due for a core course. That lets them know that, hey, I care about their success in other classes. And
Okay.
I always tell them, it doesn't matter that you got an A in culinary arts if you fail in science, if you fail in math,
Mm,
if you fail in reading, because at the end of the day, those are the things you're going to need to graduate
yeah.
along with my class. So again, like I said, all of the kids, the love, the passion, the things that you do for them, and the things that they see when you go to bat for them as well and understand that, hey, Chef We've got our back, Chef Rudd got our back in every, way possible. And that's where I'm at, and how we get things done. Again, unity is what I preach,
Hmm.
and I found success in it. I found success in it, as you can see, all of those kids. And like you said, their passion is so deep for it.
Hmm.
It's not, you don't even have to ask. It's Chef, what do you need? And once you get to that point, now you know you're actually building a program. And so that's where I'm at, and like I said, only God knows where Spruce Creek is going with this culinary program.
Yeah.
But we are shaping, me and the other chef, we are shaping this program to be the pioneer of the county and hopefully the state one day.
I feel like you need to pass the tithe and offering bucket right now because I could just feel the passion that you are talking
Yes, sir.
about everything, about the human connection as well as the food and the business part and all of that. I want to come back to kids in just a minute, but on your business side, what was the thought process or what was the moment that made you feel like I want to go from just cooking at home with my friends or whatever to actually trying this as a business? What was the step or what led you to that? Or talk about that moment, please.
So as a kid, funny story, as a kid, I was very, very fascinated with grills. So like, my uncle, God rest his soul, who had a barbecue business, him and my aunt,
Okay.
they had a barbecue business, and it was like I couldn't wait to get over to their house that day, or to the business that day to be able to operate the grill.
Uh,
That was my job. I wanted it. And I wanted to tell him, "Nah, Uncle, I got it." And like I said, that passion grew. That passion grew even to this day.
hmm,
I have a grill now, but I look at grills all the time. So it's like, that passion grew, but I stepped out, like I said, people always tell me, hey man, your barbecue is good.
hmm,
Hey man, your sauce for your barbecue is good. Hey man, some of the dishes you make on the dessert side is amazing. Hey, that soul food you cook, it was at its
hmm,
top notch. And I was like, I'm impacting people with not many words. It's
hmm,
food, a plate.
hmm,
It's a plate. I'm impacting folks. And I would start to see those same folks. Hey, could you do this for me? Hey, could I get a pan of this? Hey, could I do
hmm,
that? So now I'm starting making the connection like, hey, I really got something.
hmm,
So in 21, me and my wife, we sat down and said, hey, we're going to start with just selling barbecue plates. We started
okay.
selling just ribs and chicken sandwiches. And I never forget the first day I sold plates, I had to sell about 60 to 75 plates
Huh,
the first time.
okay.
And when I seen it and the praise I got when all the people had ate, I was like, yeah, we got something.
Okay.
We got something. And at that point, at that moment,
Mm-hmm.
I LLC'd Weaver's Bones and Sweets Eatery. And sky has been the limit since then. And we've been rolling, 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 rolling. Like I said, I went from making barbecue plates to catering for college schools like Penn State,
Okay.
like UNLV, Daytona
Okay.
State, Stetson, Bethune, you name it, pretty much all the SWAC schools that come within to Daytona to play Bethune, I've
Mm-hmm.
did some type of food for them, even at Stetson. So that's why I said now I'm actually seeing how I'm impacting on a greater scale now.
That is really amazing. That really, really is. I know people are going to benefit from hearing that story, just how it
Yes,
came
sir.
together.
Yes, sir.
Um, when I talk to a lot of creative people here on the show, they might be visual artists or they might be chefs. We've had several other chefs or things. They talk about the balance between maybe it's not a balance for you, maybe it's all the same for you, between the thing they're naturally good at and have the passion for, like the food or the art for the artist, and balancing that with having to learn the business side and money and numbers and stuff. And that some of them say it's kind of it's a balance that they continually work at because they're naturally good at this, but they have to do this. Can you
Mhm.
talk to us about that balance for you and how that's evolved?
The balance has always been there for me. Because I was, I'm good with numbers,
Okay.
good at analyzing things, business minded. Um, I think the challenge for me is breaking the generational curse of saying, having an opportunity to open up a business, step out and
Hmm.
open up a business and say, I own a business,
Yes.
and actually exposing myself to say, hey, yeah, you can have your own business. You go and patronize one all the time.
Okay.
Why that can't be you. And that's what opened the door for me. My wife, like I said, she has been very instrumental. She has been my biggest cheerleader. Hey, I got you. But also, she comes with a good level. She was a mass communication major. So when it comes to things that we put on production side, that's her.
Okay.
That's what she does. So again, when we join hands together, my iron, she sharpens my iron as well as I sharpen her iron. And with that bit, that's why we've been, successful. But like I said, I do both. I know it can be challenging. I know individuals that want to just do the cooking side or
Yeah.
the entrepreneur side, but they don't want anything to do with what we call the front of the house stuff where you gotta, paperwork, all
Yeah.
that. And it's an overall approach. And you got to educate yourself as the owner on all the aspects that goes into the business.
Okay.
So you always know what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and you're never left out.
This is really like a master class right now.
Yes,
Not
sir,
just
for
on the
sure.
food side, like an entrepreneurial master class, I guess I would call it, because you seem to be just hitting so many different areas. As a business owner, because everybody will see this video, but I'm going to show this to students and young people too. So as a business owner who has to deal with employees or at least clients or whatever, could you talk as a business owner, what kind of person would be the ideal employee that you would want to hire,
Ideal employee for
if there's
me
such thing?
is someone with passion and an eagerness to learn the craft. Again, in football, we had a phrase that, the two things that you need here, it don't have to be taught. That's effort and commitment.
Okay.
If you commit and you have effort, those are the two things that, it doesn't take us to teach you that. You got to have that. So for me, like I said, I feel like I'm a very easy person to work with, but, I'm always trying to bring the best out of whoever I'm working with. And I think my approach is, if you're eager, I just want to make you better. I want to put you in a position to understand that we will win and you will win. And I care about you as well. At the
Okay.
end of the day, I think the key to a successful team is you got to have passion as an owner, compassion, you
Okay.
know, and understand that, every day is not going to be, roses and lilies,
Okay.
but you have to stay level minded and level headed and stay grounded for your team. Because sometimes you
Okay.
may be having a great day as an owner, but your team may be drowning. It
Okay.
is for you to come in and be that emotional light to help brighten up the room. And with that understanding that, like you said, you do have some down days, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, we'll get over those. And with the approach of we're gonna have more brighter days than we're gonna have better days.
I do.
So, but ideally, like I said, passion. We use it in football, grit,
Okay.
a little I want to do above and beyond, you know what I mean, to be able to be successful. That's what I look for.
You mentioned your helpmeet or your rib, your wife several
Mhm.
times.
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about her, about
Yeah.
her role in your life personally, and I'm asking this with an agenda because so many people today have not seen good marriages, whatever, for whatever reason,
Mhm.
and I think someone just needs to see or hear at least
Mhm.
how it works, how it can work. So talk to us about your bride, please.
Well, my wife, one that's the apple of my eye, the centerpiece of my soul. And we met in 2016 while we were in college. And
Okay.
we met each other when we didn't have anything.
Ah,
You know what I mean? Just, two eager students at Bethune Cookman University trying to, better ourselves. And from 2016 all the way to now, a lifetime to go, we've been together. Um, but she is a true testament of being my rib.
mm,
It's times where I don't want to do or I don't have the desire to do, but she'll come in and say, hey, whatever that is, it needs your attention. It needs your attention. Or that person needs you.
mm.
How could you help that person? And when she tells me that, that automatically lets me know to buckle my bootstraps and go get it done. And that is the type of rapport we have built. And, we've been, grinding at it ever since. Like I said, every little thing that I can think of that, I need her for, she's there, always available. She's an open book when it comes to that. And you need that as a entrepreneur, if
Hmm.
as a business, because again, one, both of you have, if you have a spouse or soon to be spouse, you have to be on one accord. Because
She's so,
if you don't know, it takes away, when you're thinking about running your own operation, sometimes it
yes.
takes away from you and her or her
Hmm.
and him. It takes away, or vice versa, or whatever the case may be. It takes away from that. And so we have to both understand that, hey, we got to get this done, but that doesn't mean we don't love each other.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It got to be, we have to, it's called, let's just say, finding a balance and understanding. So again, that rapport has been awesome for us. She's been, every bit of amazing. And, she's actually in property management and real estate.
Okay.
So with that being said, she has a lot of things that she work on herself. But the beauty of this is that, yeah, we both own Weaver's Bones and Sweets, but I have to be emotional support to her as well in real estate. You know what I mean? Real estate is a
Okay.
rough industry, especially for someone that's just starting out. She's been in a couple of years now, but
Okay.
I have to support her in every way I can. You let her know that I care about what you're doing. I care about your business as well because I know when you do good, we do good. And I mean, and I think that's what been our success, even with our business. When we do good, we do good.
Okay.
When we're down, we're down, but we got to find a way to come up with innovative ways to be able to be successful. And also, too, man, she just gave me my biggest gift of my life, man. I just had twins about 7 weeks ago.
Oh man.
So now I got my dad now. So it's been
Wow.
totally life changing. But we're embracing it. We're loving every moment of it. We're growing at this thing of being new parents. But again, like I said, that's where this holistic approach of being married, starting a family, being successful, this is where it comes from. This is the foundation. This is the foundation. And understand that, for the person that's looking for love, there is love out there. There is
Please
love.
say that. Oh, please say that again,
For the
because I hear.
person that is looking for love, there is love out there.
Wow.
At the end of the day, I don't want anybody to ever feel that they're backed in a corner that nobody would ever love them or accept them for them. Because somebody is on this earth for you and God has made them just for you.
That right on. That is right on target. I know for somebody, probably for a lot of somebodies out there.
Yes, sir.
Um, as my time is running out, this has been such a, I don't know, I keep saying blessing. I feel like I'm in church. I don't know, but this has been really helpful to me personally, but I know to the people listening. I guess last thing I want to ask you, I guess it's the last. So what do you see in the future, either for what you do at Spruce Creek High School or the business side? What is your future vision? And I would say the quote that you said that I might make the little subtitle on the screen is nobody cares about your vision as much as you do. That was so powerful. But what do you see in the future for visions for your own life?
So right now, from a business standpoint, me and my wife, we're on the verge of getting we're still trying to decide, but we're on the verge of getting a food truck or actually opening up a standalone building for Weaver's Bones and Sweets. So that we have been putting a lot of time, dedication into that, and we've been just trying to grow and understand that we're making sure that we're ready for that. Professionally, that's part of our professional. But right now, at Spruce Creek High School, I'm committed to Dr. Sparger, committed to the school, and the impact because I love my kids.
Yeah.
I love my kids, and sometimes those days that I'm not having such a good day, those are the, individuals that are able to lift me up and let them know that they need me. So again, no matter what I have to do, I have to push it to the side and, I have to get over it and try to make the best of impacting my kids on a day basis. So, like I said, staying put, but also, like I said, the food truck, is definitely what I'm looking forward to in the future. Um, like I said, I feel like we're on to something here, and also impacting, district members like yourself that come over to Port Orange, just to show you guys some Southern hospitality and how we do things, and show them how, putting our kids on display as well. Hopefully that'll lead them to a job, career, or somebody that just will help them overall as a mentor and overall with life.
Coach, chef, excuse me. I don't know what to call you, chef, bishop, coach, about 50
Yeah,
officer, about 15 labels I could give you.
yes, sir.
I appreciate this. I know this is going to be a big encouragement to the people that